Hello.
Hello, Professor Ku. Hi.
Hi. Good to see you.
Good to
Professor
see you.
Cheng.
Thank you.
So currently, where are you?
I'm based in Curtin University in Western Australia.
Western
Currently,
Australia.
yeah. But now I'm traveling at the moment.
Okay. So Cotton University in West Australia. Australia.
Yeah, Western Australia. Yes, it's
Australia.
very far away.
Okay. So your semester is now done.
We have 2 weeks to go.
Okay. 2 weeks to go. Uh-huh. I just look in your CV from Google Scholar, and I invite you to our seminar for our students. So thank you for accepting my request. It's, uh,
Oh,
it's uh,
thank you for the invitation. Because I think we met before in the Inter
uh-huh.
in the back in 2019. Oh no, 2020 in January in Surrey.
I see.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I'm
was
sorry, I didn't remember the exact time. But
another two
anyway,
years ago. Yeah, thank you.
I highly interested in your research keyword and your performance, and I want to learn from you about the topics you are currently actively researching on. Okay. So we are punctually starting off our seminar 2 hours from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock p.m. So I want you to present your research 1.5 hours and 30 minutes Q&A, but there's a there's no such a specific rule. So it's up to you. You can receive any keyword questions and from students. And also I am going to give my questions to you if I have. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Before
Thank
I
you. Looks
start
good.
off, I want to introduce you briefly for my students, and then I'm give this stage to you. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Let me.
Mm.
Mhm. Students, please turn off your microphone, audio, and turn on your video. Uh, as I addressed every single Friday, we inviting a very uh, the eminent scholar from all over the world, and you know, seminar is look at your face, each other, and the communication and conversation. That's more effective. So please turn on your video as long as your condition allowed, and turn off your audio. Okay, students. Um, Friday morning again. We have a very good season. May, spring already comes to our life, and the weather is getting a little warmer and warmer, which is very fine and very smoothly and charming weather. Anyway, today I'm inviting Dr. Mingming Cheng, Cotton University from West Australia. Okay, I met him before at Surrey University, England. He is now currently associate professor and director of social media research lab at Cotton University, Australia. And research interested, he keen on social media analytics and tourism marketing and peer-to-peer communicate accommodation, for example, Airbnb. And the winner of multiple teaching, research, and engagement awards for researching and teaching excellence and impact. Currently, he is serving for associate editor of Tourism Geographic and Tourism Management Perspective. And also, he is a member of editorial board, member of multiple journals, and including tourism management and analysis of tourism research, which is the most top tier journals in our research tourism field. Okay, I'm finished here. Dr. Cheng, from now on, stage yours. Please start off.
Yeah, thank you. So let me share my screen. Let me share my. Can you see my screen now?
Sure, good.
Okay, cool. Very good morning, everyone, and thank you very much. Also for Professor Ku for the invitation to share some of my research, with you. With the research that we have been recently, not recently, the last 2 years, we have been working on video analytics, in tourism and hospitalities. It's a complete a new things happening. Um, so 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 I'm currently working as a Professor Ku. I work at Curtin University of Western Australia. So actually, I'm working more in the digital marketing space, but also in tourism and hospitality. So what I'm going to do today, I will talk about the video analytics and how we can approach video analytics into the hospitality. And then I also will give you a case that we have been doing for pro-environmental videos and how that influence user engagement. Now, so this is some of the apps that are not very popular, like quite popular, like some are in China and some of the in the world. Now, if you look at the second app, I think most people would know that it's we call TikTok, right? So TikTok become founded in 2016. It have live stream over 9 million people, 9 million sessions per month. It have monthly active users of 731 millions. It's just a lot. And if you look at it yourself, like how many of you are actually using videos, to record your travel experiences, and and also you see how many videos are produced every day by different tourism businesses, and you will find that this tourism videos are more engaging than other channels. So if you will look at the popularity of video in generals, now for 54% of marketers say that video is the most valuable content type for achieving social media marketing goals. And we will say that in 2021, like 2 years ago, it was reported that online videos had an audience reach of 91% among internet users worldwide. And what is most interesting is that 66% of consumer report short form videos to be the most engaging type of social media content in 2022. So up from 50% from 2020. So we can see now the videos become really popular. But the challenge is that even though we know videos are popular and are frequently used by tourism and hospitality businesses, now it has opportunities, right? It creates new opportunities for marketing and tourism scholar to understand consumer behavior. But it also presents methodologically challenge. Because video, if you look at videos, it's unstructured data. How are you going to analyze the video data? And if you're looking closely at any videos, it have multiple formats. It have text, audios, and visuals. So it also, with so much data types, it is very difficult for you to decide what kind of meaningful information you want to get from the videos. So this presents significant methodological challenges for tourism and hospitality researchers. So what is video analytics? Now, video analytics is the capabilities of automatically analyzing video to detect and determine temporal and spatial events. And video analytics heavily rely on advanced algorithms and computer vision techniques to get meaningful information for video footage. Now, inside the video, you need to identify what happened in the patterns. Is a person inside? And is a person moving? So we can track movement. And is a person smiling? And also the other object of interest. So video analytics, we cannot rely on as humans, but we rely on advanced algorithms and computer visions to get more the information. Now, some people will say, look, we can do manual coding, right? So if you look at a 50 seconds video, how much information will be inside. And if you code them manually, it can be very labor intensive, and it can be very time consuming, and it can limited skills. And one typical example is that if you analyze a videos, you need to understand what information that you want to get. But sometimes if you do manually, it's likely that you may miss some of the key informations. So there's a lot of methodological challenges if you just do manual encoding. So that's why we have the automatic video analytics. So we want to overcome the limitation of manual coding. And also we will rely on the computer vision and machine learning to make sure it is more accurate when we get the information. But also one challenge we have is to require a bit of programming knowledge because when you deal with videos. Now, let me just go through the video analytic frameworks that we have. Now, it is like usually the 4 steps that we involved. We have data collections, data, how you process video data into a format that you can analyze, and then you get a video feature extractions, and then you can perform the analysis. So if we look at data collection, so there's so many types of videos that are actually in tourism. A lot of tourists, when they go on holidays, they will take videos. Now, what do we call user-generated videos in tourism, right? People go to a hotel, people go to a tourist attraction, take a video and post on social media, on TikTok. So they're user-generated. And then we also have live streaming videos, right? So people doing live streaming and then they record it. So the live stream videos. Live streaming is a bit different because you will see the reactions quite easily. And then we have promotion videos in tourism. It's a very traditional one. So you can see from like a lot of tourism destinations, they help do a lot of promotion videos. But those videos are different and usually from the user-generated videos because these are usually professional edits. And then we also have a lot of video products and movies, even tourism subjects, videos. But video product, for example, film tourism. Now, film tourism really rely on people know about where the film take place and where the exact locations they want to visit. So you want to see that how that also engage people. And then we have surveillance videos. Now, surveillance videos is quite an interesting one because if you look through the attractions, it can actually monitor how many people going through, right? How many people stay at a particular attractions and who are the people stay at that particular point in that tourism attractions. And also we have a bit of what we call a participant and research generated videos. For example, we can ask a tourist saying, well, just take a picture of whatever you feel comfortable with and tell us that we understand their experiences. So this is only a few examples that existing in tourism that have different types of video tab. Now, if we want to get data from those platforms, the next question is really about data pre-processing. Now, data processing have 2 parts. Now, the first part is what we call data cleaning and the data separation. Now, data cleaning, of course, we need to remove duplicate videos, but also we need to remove the data that does not fit the research purpose. If you look at user-generated videos, there will be a lot. So what will fit into criteria? Now, there also what we call data categorization. Data categorization is that in the videos, right? So they have images, they have sounds, and then also they have text. So how can you separate soundtrack? You need to separate soundtrack from the video data. And then you also separate the textual information from the video data. For example, look at the subtitles. And also very important, very importantly, you need to determine the unit analysis. So it's basically you want to understand the things in the videos. You want to understand so the whole video itself. So if you look at your right side, we can analyze units. So there's 4 different things. Now the first one is what we call video. You analyze the whole video, like everything. But sometimes you say, I want to only understand a few components. That's what we call a frame. Now, frame, and then next one is the scenes, right? scenes is bigger, so it detects scenes cut but identify difference between two consecutive frames. And then we can do equal time intervals. So we develop videos into equal times. So you can see that within the video itself, it actually have different analyze units, and you need to decide whether you analyze the video itself or you pick the frame or things. If you look at people's engagement, look at particular video, people are not excited about the whole video. People may only be excited by particular part. So let me just give it, yeah. Yes.
Just for wake up question.
Yes, sure.
Okay, yeah. You're doing greatly presenting your research and the research introduction, but in the morning time, so probably some of the students are a little bit for asleep. I just wake up questions. Anyway, I'm currently I highly involved in the research video as well.
Yeah.
I got a motivation from Netflix. So as you know, the worldwide Netflix films, especially Korean films, become so popular. And so I got an idea, because of that Netflix, movies bring the people to engage in Korean contents. At least they got the more favorable, Korean product. They got the more, frequently visiting Korean restaurant in the countries, and even they have a mind to visit actually physically to Korea because of that Netflix video. But however, as my judgment, Netflix video is not just because of Korean context, but it's a fun and very exciting, very narrative, very well-made movie and contents because of that, rather than Korean context. So I'm research context. Okay, let me analyze why the worldwide viewers highly interested in Korean contents, and what kind of drama, what type of the things motivate them to engage in Korean stuff. That's my these days the study. What do you think?
I think that this is quite exciting actually, because the way you measure is that you will see what in the film or the Netflix, what exactly the components make people have that motivation, right? So if we can identify, is it because of the narrative, or because of the superstar, the using products in a particular way that excited people, or is it because you just put a product into? So if we can identify what exactly that motivate people, I think will be quite important in the future. So when they produce like Netflix, things, they can know what exactly component you want to put that into. But also, I think it's also the other thing that very exciting about your research is that we can actually measure people's behavior, right, and how that actually happens. I think that's a quite exciting, particularly for film tourism destinations and how they can design the films in particular way, right? So a lot of time, when do a film, they know what they want to do, but the tourism organization can have an input. Okay, this time you need to spend the actors and you do this, and they can help us, right, improve our like tourism visitation, etc. I think that's quite exciting.
Okay, right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So I think so that's why this slide is actually quite aligned with Professor Ku's question. Is actually what we want to know exactly within the videos make people really engaged or excited, right, or motivated. Now, these are different features we can identify like from the videos, right? We take there's one image from the video. For example, the color, right? Perceived presence of specific colors. They can be hue, saturations, saturations. So the different kind of colors can make people feel very differently, right? So color matters. So sometimes if you look at the films, they will create particular nomadics like colors that people say, oh, that's the color I want. And then when they go to the destination, they want that, right? So the color matters. And also people recognition. So they can detect people in the videos and then follow their path. So you can see, a lot of time in the movies, like the actors, you want to see how they move around, and the tourists will follow the same path, right? They go to a particular destination, we can recognize people, but also objective detection. Object detection is used to determine the presence of a type of object or entity, for example, a car, right? So sometimes, people want to take selfies. They want to take it in with particular objects, right? And that's quite important. And then we have a face recognition. And then we have face recognition is the use to recognize a human face, but also human face. And then we have video trackings. And we can tracking used to determine the locations. I just give a second. I just have an issue just here. Just give a second. Sorry, I just give a second of the just a second, everyone. The second, yeah. Yeah, can you see now again?
Oh, sure, good.
Yeah, yeah. So like video tracking is a say to determine the location of people going around, and the last one is detect emotion in the frame. Now, I give an example why emotion and face recognition. Yeah, it's very exciting. Is that if you're looking at if you go on holiday and you take pictures of your experiences, right? You can detect. So you can detect the emotions, right? If you're on holiday, how people feel about it. It's excitement, or people feel angry, or people feel what. So you can detect emotions, how people change during their holidays. And then we also have video feature extraction about audios, right? So audio is a loudness. So the property of sound, which for differentiating between loud and faint sound, is a very loud or is a very light. And then we also have the pitch. Now, pitch is an attribute of auditory sensation in terms of which sound may be older on a scale expanding from low. So pitch can be high pitch, low pitch. Like for women, have a high pitch, men have a low pitch. And the speaking rate is how many words you speak per minute. And then we have what we call audio effect. So it's either the people clapping, people laugh, and then also from audio, so we can determine people's emotion as well. People's emotion can be, for example, people in the speech, people really happy, or people really sad, or people is anxious, and then we could have vocal side as well. So actually, the sound, we can say the audio itself can also reflect the emotions inside. So let me play this, whether you can hear it. Can you hear it?
No.
No, let me see. You can hear?
No. You can.
No, can. Maybe let me just.
You,
let me share
control. You can control the.
Yeah, let me just share this. Share it. Maybe just give me a second. Can you share with this one? Okay, see this one now.
Try
yes,
again.
okay. Oh, yeah, I'll try again. This one. And
No. Okay.
Yeah, can you see it now?
I can see it. Oh, good, very good. Good.
So one more time. So as you can see from the video itself, right? The bird sound at the end make a big difference.
Yes.
Right? So
yes.
So let me just share back to my slides. The slides. So sorry, just share the slides. Let's share the slides now. Yeah. So as you can see from this one, it's very interesting, right? So you're looking at the the attraction, tuna attraction in Tasmania in Australia, right? You see,
Mm,
oh, it's really nice. But the sound at the end, the bird, the sound is so loud. You say, wow, that must be a very exciting, a very interesting place to visit.
mm,
So you can see this can actually make a big difference, right, in how you perceive the attractiveness of the destination.
mhm,
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. And then the next one we talk about is video feature extractions. Now, video feature extraction is that we have on-screen text. So for example, here you look at the video, it will say 5 tips to help you create a good video. And we also want to get that information out as well. Because a lot of people will read that, right? A lot of videos, people don't talk, but they put those on-screen tests. Yeah.
mm,
So now we call it on-screen text recognition. So your extra text that appears on a video or overlays slides or in the background. Now, a lot of time you may don't have text recognition, a test on-screen test, but people talk, right? So you had to convert the speech into a text, make it as a transcript. Yeah. So this is that you can see from here is that what do we have? Oh, sorry. So what do we have is here. So three parts, right? If we break down the video, the first part we make is like a different kind of images, yeah, to making that video, and then we look at audios, the sounds and everything, and then we look at the text appear on the video, and also people talk convert that into text. Now, so it's a lot of time. So just give an example here, right? You look at this videos, people are doing want to do a camping. So
mhm,
what you can see is that so the people have spoken words. You can see at a particular 8 point, so 8 minute 23 seconds, the 8.24 second. What did that person said,
mm,
right? You can see at a particular point, and then you can see who is speaking, and the for men in the videos or for women in the videos who are there. And then at the lower end, you can see closed caption and on-screen test. So basically, you can see here is that there's so much rich data that you can see just from video itself. Now, we have a lot of methods we're going to analyze it, right? A very simple way with the content analyzer, what people talks about. That's the only one component, right? Or thematic, we say what people talks about. But what do we say with classic? What a special feature there, or with regression or predictions. We want what happened in that video. So I give you one example that we did here is that in that particular videos, we have seen 8 people appeared, right? So at different faces, that the first person, the ladies, appear 24% of the videos. So we will see how frequently this person appeared in the videos. And then we will say in that there's a topic inside. So what are topics that we can get from the objects or the people talk about? We can say there's an environment, littering, waste collections, waste management. Yeah. And then what are the keywords inside people talk about? Like in the screen, they say like Chinese with a factory, pick up the garbage back. And we can also know exactly at what minute is the person talk about particular things.
mm,
So this example give you said that's just only we not only can give details of every single image of the video, but also we can get overview of what's actually happening. So this is really exciting because video tells us a lot of information that traditionally we want to access to without video analytics. But traditionally, we look at a video only for like one aspect. But now what happening, it gives you an overview of what's happening, but give you also a lot of details. You can see from here and what time the person appear and what time the person speak what. And so that's quite exciting. Now, if we look at the top, we call it 56 labels. Now, labels just telling what things appear in the videos. So when I say appear in the video, is that they can be is outdoor, is a clothing, is a person, is a sky inside, the plant, grass, trees. So as you can see from here, there appear different things appear, right? And then then you can see at the end, you can also no, the name and identities. You can see, oh, is it like a home? Is like a mountain inside, right? And then the emotion part, we can say at a particular time, the person feel really sad about things, right? And also particular time, people really angry. So it gives you lots of details, not only the whole video, but also the person emotions. Yeah. So I give you an example here, like scenes. Scenes means that things that appear, um, different things means that the object everything are different, right? So as you can see from here, these are things that they have the cows, have people picking up a rubbish. So there are different things in that video. And then within a particular scenes, like the cow, the camera is very close to the cow or very far away from the cow. So you can see that. And the two key frame. Key frame is the shortest within the shot. So scenes the biggest, and then the shots and the key frame. So you can see with different level of analysis.
Mm.
So what I'm doing, going to present to you now is a really a case study and how we analyze the tourism, like user-generated pro-environmental tourism videos. A lot of you may travel around. You say this tourism is a good industry. We're generating visitation money for the government, for everyone, but it also harm the environment, right? The people throw rubbish and they harm the environment. And now what happens? So what do people do? They create a lot of videos. They're telling people, this place I've been to is beautiful, but now people throw rubbish. We really want people to change their behaviors. So that we call the user-generated pro-environment videos. Now, I'll just give you one example here, right? So if you're looking at the one on the left, the one on the right. Now, this is how beautiful it is. People think when they go to the injections, and then after a few days, there's rubbish everywhere, right? So you can see that people produce a lot of video like this to encourage people say, look, we all love to travel, but you need to be environmental friendly, right? So you can look at the first one. There are a lot of people likes, comments. So we can see a lot of user-generated content, like tourists. They feel like, we should be responsible for the environment. And then we are quite interested in saying, well, there's so many videos that user generated, and they want people to see it as a way to change their pro-environment behavior. Now we say, how that work? So we're gonna do research questions, right? So what we try to understand is that for those user-generated video about, so this one, they tell something really beautiful about it and then tell something really bad about it, right? They do a contrast. So what do we say is that informativeness. So we say, are we giving a lot of information to people in that videos about bad environment, a good environment, a lot of information? Will people be more engaged? And the second question we call visual variation. So visual variation is means things keep changing, in the video, or whether that will engagement. So we want to see how does the content features of user-generated tourism environmental videos actually influence viewers' engagement. Now, so informativeness in our studies, we talk about is that we want to informing the public about this videos about the environmental consequence of their actions will result in an increase pro-environment. So we want to increase them. We want to help them to increase the pro-environmental intention and behavior. So if you're looking at a lot of videos, not only from tourists, but from the government, they usually tells you, like the content creators, they will actually tells you the information, the environmental consequences. This how beautiful this is. And now because you travel there, it's rubbish. And how it looks like now. So it's a way to engage a viewer to raise their environmental awareness. Particularly, we're wondering is that we present a lot of negative information where it matters. So negative information, usually people saying that it can actually have a strong response, right? Because if it's bad, people say, oh, how can that happen? So it has strong response. But the problem is for us as a human, we may have a very, very limited capacities to have those negative information. So if people keep on telling you bad things, you say, oh, that's the reality. How can I help? Right? So people will have limited capacities to digest this negative information. So what we're proposing is that there is an inverted U-shaped relationship between informativeness and viewer engagement in the user-generated tourism pro-environment videos. We then say, if you tell me too much, a little bit bad information, like bad environmental consequences, tourists look at it, they may think, oh, look, we should change. But if you give them a lot of information about bad environment damage, then they may simply lose their interest. They will not even watch your video. So this is the first part. So we talk is inverted U-shape about informativeness. So the second part is what we call the visual variation. Now, visual variations is how things change in that particular videos. So if you look at example which is low level, so if you look at the three different frame, so what happened is that they didn't change a lot, right? But if you look at high level, the second one, there are rubbish in the river, and then rubbish on the mountain, and then the rubbish flow on the water again. So you can see the high level of visual variations. So what we are proposing is that visual variation, if you have changed a lot, it can create distractions, right? But if you but some people say change a lot means a lot of things happening. It can also create view engagement. And then we're proposing this is relation is a bit unshaped. Then maybe it's a U shape. It's not too much. It's not too many. Not too little, but not too many. So we are supposing that there may be inverted U shapes relationship between visual variations and view engagement in the user-generated tourism pro-environment videos.
Mingming, I have a
Yes.
question.
Yes.
This slide showing us the two types, low level, high level. But
Yeah.
From my side, from my understanding, when we say regarding low level, high level, it's kind of a high environment or low environment, something like that. But your video case is offer side is low level is very cleaning and charming and very positive the video image comparing to the downside. Downside is dirty and rubbishing and very negative videos. So in my understanding, what does that exactly mean, low level or high level from these video types?
Oh, so lower level. So inside a video, right? It may have 3 minutes. So basically, let's say that's 1 minute. So what do we do? So we break them into scenes. Then maybe like every 10 seconds we put as a things, right? Not a whole video. Now in every 10 seconds. So what do we compare the first 10 seconds to the second 10 seconds? So are there bigger changes? So for example, like the low level in the first second is about like environment, how beautiful the environment is, right? And the next second video is still about environmental. So it is about beautiful environment. Then we say the variation is very small. But if you have the first videos is a beautiful environment and the second video is bad environment, we say this is a visual variation because it's a big change. But even within the rubbish itself, right? You can see that some of the rubbish on the river, some of the rubbish on the mountains. So we also see that it's a big change as well because it's different things happening. So it can be a good environmental, good scenery compared to rubbish, everything, but also can compare rubbish within the rubbish.
Okay.
Yeah. So it can mean two things, the visual variation. It's basically what we did is compare the one thing to another to see whether there's a big variation.
Okay, I understand. So it means the low level variation is slightly changing from original one to next stage
Yeah,
is very slightly changing and then very slight changing. In that case, we can call it low level. But
yeah,
that low level, the naming, labeling apply for that positive, the environmental video. And the high level is like a very rubbish and dirty, but you can changing uh, uh, a lot, huge from original video to the next video is changing and changing huge. Is that mean?
yeah. Yeah, I think the idea is that if it's any bigger changes, right, in terms of the images, then
Okay,
we say the bigger visual variation. I
okay,
think I think I really love Professor Ku, I really love your point. I think we forgot on one thing, right? We forgot on one very important thing because in our research is that if if is a picture of beautiful and then it's rubbish, it
uh,
actually should be have stronger in terms of visual variation
uh,
rather than rubbish to rubbish change,
uh,
right? I
uh,
think we didn't take that into consideration. I think we need and that's a really good question. Yeah. Thank you for that.
okay, uh-huh,
Yeah. I think it's really good because we only when we calculate that we
uh,
only put
uh,
the changes of the images, right?
uh,
We
uh,
didn't actually to consider
uh,
the contrast.
uh,
Yeah, that much. I think that's a good point. Thank you. Yeah. So I think this a video is we got a Chinese platform called Bilibili. So what happened is that I'm not sure it's also popular in the Korea, is that we have a lot of we call live comments. So when people saw a video, people just basically type something straight away rather than leave a comment at the end. So what we found this is what we call live comments. Now, live comments are different from the likes and the comments you leave after watching the video, right? So after watching the video, you leave a comment. You may have a comment about the whole video, but live comment means you have direct engagement. So at this particular moment, you feel about something, you type, and we call it in consumption engagement. So we get all the videos, 44 user generated videos and about people talking about pro-environmental behavior, compare, the beautiful environment and then, the rubbish things. Now, I just tell you, to spend a bit of time here is about data pre-processing. Now, data pre-processing takes us quite a long time to do it. Now, the reason behind it is that we have three types of data. Now, the first type of data is auditory data. Now, auditory is the sound, the soundtrack. We have to take the soundtrack, and we divide them into scenes. And we have also to convert spoken words into transcript. And then the texture data is also what the people put on the screen. You can see at the lower end of there's some words there. We have to extract that and divide into scene level as well. And then we have video data. So we will say boundary how you're going to divide the videos. Is we divide every 10 seconds or we divide every 20 seconds. So we have to make a decision. So if you look at the definition here, the things is an event and it is consisted of consecutive and semantically related shot. So I give an example here. Now, if in the first one is a thing, right? The first one on the top is a thing. You can see three images we get from the video. So it is all about the three people picking up the rubbish. So the three people picking the rubbish, you can see that the camera is a bit back or forward, but there's still around the three people, right? So that we call three consecutive shot in one particular scene. But if we look the second one is that you can look at the second one, you will see that people are picking up rubbish, and there's a cow there, right? And then the rubbish under the tree. So you can see the video. This we call the scenes. The scenes is an event, right? It's an event. So inside one video, we have so many things. So the second I think of very important thing is that we have talked about the concept of informativeness and a visual variation, right? And engagement. But the challenge is that how are you going to create a proxy for informativeness? I think this is very, very challenging when we start doing this because we didn't realize how difficult it is. So the first thing that we will say label count. So we want to say the number of visual objective detecting the things. So if you look at the pictures, right? If we just back and look at pictures. So for example, if you look at here, you can look at a cow, right, and the grasses, and this one have people, a person. So how many things actually inside that particular image, right? That we call a visual objects detecting the things, and then you know that when not people when they produce videos, they talk a lot, right? Because when you listen to videos, you not only see the images, but also you listen to people talk, right? So when we look at in that particular things, how many words actually people have produced. Now the second one we do, it's called visual variation. Now visual variation, as Professor Koo had talked before, we want to label variation. So what do we do is that we want to see the label count, right? With label count is that this one is only cow and grass, and that one is have rubbish, have the trees, in different areas. We use a standard deviation of differences in the label count between the first shot, the second shot, third shot. Yeah, we do comparison. Now, and also we introduce the concept we mentioned before. We call viewer engagement. So we define viewer engagement is called in consumption engagement. In consumption engagement, I said before, people put comments just when they got excited about particular time on because if you look at a video or a film can last 1 hour, right? Not many people get excited about every second, but people at a particular moment people get very excited. So we only use live comments, how many people type of live comments, to measure that as how engagement that will be for the users. So the proxy we created, we call the volumes of live comments in that particular thing. So as you can see from the slide, this slide is that we have so many features that we can get from the videos. But the challenge is that how to put that into a concept. And then if you put that into a concept, and how you will be able actually to measure that based on the video features you got. I think this is what I found is very methodologically challenging to do it. Now, I'd like to give you one example here that we had. This particular lady was looking at the mountains. So what a label we have detected in that video, we can see it's a human, right? There's a mountain behind. There's a sky, there's a tree and a grass. But if you look at the one on the right, there's a lot of label inside. It has a human, has a mountain, has sky, slope, but it has soil, ground, grass, gear, rubbish, tree, and plastics. It has a lot. So when we do that comparison, we think that is a big that has more labels. It can have higher regional variations. So that's how we see it. So now you can see here from this level, we already rely on computer visions, right? Because we need to detect the objects. But also one challenge we found, right? We haven't solved the problem yet. Professor Cook will give us some advice. Is that sometimes what we realize that some of the labels can be very big, right? The mountain is very big, all about the mountains, about trees, a person. But sometimes there's so many labels and it become very small, even you have that particular label, right? So I think that's one thing I think we haven't taken into consideration, but I think we think is important. So what we did is that we use the positive models. So we test different models, and we try to see how it works. And and then we realized that there's actually involved relationship between informativeness and view engagement. And also we control other variables. If you have to look at it here, we can create a like a pitch, the length of the things, all the other variables, because we think, for example, the pitch, how people speak, right? High pitch and low pitch can also influence that. So what we found out at the end, we say that there's an involved U-shaped relationship between informativeness and real engagement in the user-generated chosen pro-environment videos. So basically, we're saying if you give too much information, people just not engaged. So what you rather you do is that you give relatively okay amount rather than give them a lot. So if they so what we say is it's an inverse issue. It's a unique. Is you give a right amount. It's not too little, not too much. You need to maintain the right balance. Otherwise, people just will not be engaged. Now, the second hypothesis we tested is significant. There's also inverted U-shape between video variations and real engagement. Is that if you have if your videos keep changing, too many scenario like different things, and people will just get lost, right? So if you give too little, people just want to see the impact of how tourism, the impact on the environment from the tourists. But if you give too much, they don't want it. So you can see a human want to have the right balance between right balance between the information and the needs. So, but one thing I want to one thing I want to highlight that if we go back to here is that now if you can see from here that there's so many video features in that video, right? But what we haven't really done is that we don't really do the emotion. That's something we haven't done that. A lot of time if you think of better environment behavior, better for environment, how the way people talk about things, the emotional is very positive, very negative, or angry or anxious, can actually make a huge difference, right? But it's something that we haven't really taken into considerations, the emotion, how the person, the face looks like, and how the person speaks. So I think that was something we haven't done that. I think it was really important, particularly from image from how the person looks like, but also the same here, like the audios, right? How the person speak. We didn't really detect the emotions, how the person speak. I think that was really important part that we haven't done that. I think that was and also the last part I want to show here. Oh, sorry, is here. Is a transcript, right? So in the transcript, we don't really take into consideration of the words that people are using. We simply take account into it. Now the challenge is that when we speak, we use different words, and different words can matter, right? So I give you example. If a person say, "I'm extremely upset," "I'm extremely frustrated," so it means I'm not that happy. It's different, right? The emotion that you feel about it can just make a huge differences. I think there's something that we haven't taken into consideration, and I think what we did at this stage is how do I put it, is a bit simple in terms of how, if you're looking at here how we measure it, it's relatively simple, that we have so much things that we haven't taken that into considerations. So I think that's something that what I feel like to analyze the videos, we really requires a lot of considerations, that in terms of because what do we feel like emotion as important part, we don't really measure that, and that will assume that you may have significant consequences. And the other thing we haven't done, we took a real engagement, right? It's in consumption engagement in particular. We didn't really take a consideration about there can be a delay. So I give an example. So when you look at the movies, you feel very emotional. You cry, right? But when you type a few words into it, it takes time. The thing already passed. So the time you get emotional, by the time you type the live comments, there may be like 10 seconds, right? So we haven't really found that how we'll be able to actually to know how we should cut the delay what happened. I think that's the consideration that's we haven't done that. And also the other thing we don't know about is that viewer engagement in consumer engagement. We don't know how it can be the actual behavior. So we don't really know that. Like Professor Ku talked about, people get motivated, but how we can turn that the actual better products, right? And how they can buy, how they can decide to go to a particular Korean destination because of that film. So that is something that we haven't taken into considerations.
Okay, question.
Yeah, yeah.
I have two questions. One is the data you're collecting.
Yeah.
You got the collecting the data from each
platform. Bilibili.
Yeah. How can be able to collect the data by automatic or by what the software and programming to get that kind of featuring from
let me show you.
Okay.
Like
for example.
For example, like this one, right? So what we did is that that's I think it was this two ways you like maybe there's three ways you can do it, right? The first way you can do it, some platform you have the API, you can directly download that videos directly, and they will provide you a lot of data. Let's take a TikTok for example, right? The video itself, right? You can get it, but also they will get who the person posted, what time they posted, what they write about it. So using API, you will be able to get all the metadata about the videos, because that matters. Because if you're looking at the videos, who generated that videos matters.
Okay.
If you are an actor, a superstar, you talk about something, people may have different reaction, right? But if you are someone that don't have that background, people will not take that seriously, right? They can be, and then also what people write about in this one, right? It also matters. So the first one is what we call APA, and the API is you can directly get the data from it. Now the second thing you don't have API, right? You have to use the data scraping. So data scraping means that you just write the code when you're programming, and then you get the data. But the challenge with that data, you may not be able to get all the data you need. For example, if with data scraping, you may not be able to get, for example, the name of that person who posted, what time they posted, and all some like mega data you read. And then the third one, I think, if you're only interested in video content, right? So you simply can do recording about that video and then download it. But that was not the most effective ways. So the most effective way will be use API. But also, one thing I want to talk about is that download videos actually takes a lot of time. So, and if you remember this, right? So that's why a lot of people don't want to do film. The film is too long. And they want to simply do, for example, short videos like 50 seconds, 60 seconds, because it's easy and manageable. Because if you think of a video, how much data will be inside the particular video? Even that particular video, if like this one, right? You have the bush track, you have the mountains, and you have the birds, the sounds, and then so it's just a lot of information. So that's why I think. And then you also have a lot of like storage as well, because you need to install the data. I think this is a challenge. But I think what is most challenging is actually you get a 16 seconds video. You need to break them into 10, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, or 5 seconds. That would be a lot, huge amount of work, right?
Okay.
So that's something you need to take consideration in terms of the amount of data and how you collect it. So it will takes you time, but it also takes a lot of storage. But also it will give you methodology difficulties in how you break them down. But also last thing I'll say is also extracting data, like analyze them. Also can be very very time consuming.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Anyway, you means you download it through the open API, and then using of tools, you're detecting the data, the metadata, and the text data sort of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the second question, I see. Second question, you said the result, the equation regression. Let me see the equation of the regression. Okay.
Yeah, this one. This one. Sorry.
Here we go.
This one. Yeah.
So your research, the result coming from this equation, right? Comments. And beta and ax plus bx2 and the control. Okay. But my question, you got the inverted U shape. The between the independent variable informativeness. So what is your rationale? What is your the get the result? The U shape is a supportive by informativeness. Okay, U shape is like this, right? So it's X and Y. Well, anyway, U shape is this way. So anyway, first time is high, and then going down to a certain point, and then goes up to.
So I was inverted. It's the other way. The other way is inverted U shape. It's the other way.
That way.
This way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which means it's X and Y.
Yeah.
Right. So why is a comment here?
It's number of comments.
Number of comments.
Yeah. No, I actually put a number of live comments. It's not the live comments. The number of live comments.
Number of comments. Okay.
Yeah.
So because of informativeness and visual variation is like this, and the number of comments is going up, and then
and then we're going and then drop.
Going down.
Yes.
If it's too much information, right?
Yeah, if it's too much information, people just want to be engaged.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you find out the certain point of engagement point?
Oh yes, we did. I've got exact numbers. Yeah.
Okay, I see.
But yes, we
anyway.
We define that it's there's a maybe share next time. We define that there's a certain result.
Don't worry.
So that's what we thought that this will give a lot of implications for those people. Like that's what we thought, right? If you are content creators, if you understand what we did, I think it's very important because you know how you're going to engage people, how to create content, right? So I think that's pretty much what we did for this research. But at the profile cool, I mentioned that we're just only at the start, and then we find it actually a bit challenging just doing all this work, and probably we can work together in the future. That's something that we find is particularly challenging to deal with the data and everything. Yeah, I think that Let me see. Maybe we have other content. Something this. Oh, I think that's pretty much about my. No, not this one. Pretty much about my slide. My content. But if you like it, just don't forget there's a 5-star review you can click. Thank you. Yeah.
5-star review. Whoa.
We all love research reviews. But also one thing I think we found is really interesting for our research. Maybe I'm gonna show you here. It's here. And then exciting is what we call in consumption engagement. Is the time people engage at the right point, right? You know, a lot of time, I know Professor could download on online reviews, right? You know, online review usually reflect the whole experience, right? Reflect their whole experience of their stay. But live comments, they only comment on that particular point of time. They're not a comment on the whole videos, but only comment at a particular time. So if we can analyze what they said, it's also giving us another layer of insights looking into that. I think that's quite different. I'm not sure anyone have done that before. I think maybe some have done in some engagement, but I thought it was really exciting things that we measure differently. Because online reviews, a lot of time, if it's not in consumption online reviews, all about a post experience. Is that correct? Yeah, Professor Cool, yeah? I think.
Say it
Yeah.
again. Sorry.
Oh, I say like when we do research on hotel online reviews, it's a post experience, right? It's usually post experience. It's basically analyze everything, yeah, of
Yeah.
people that stay at the hotel. But the one we talk about, the live comments, is only at a particular point of time. Yeah, not the whole experience. Yeah.
Okay. Live comment is actually not yet popular because it's quite what, how can I say, it's like when you said it's particular point, and we couldn't say the whole entire process of that, you know, the experience while they stay in hotel. So it's not easy. But anyway, yeah.
Because one thing we find, but it reflect what you think at the moment, right?
Yes.
We watch a video, the right moment. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a I think a different measurement. Yeah, I think that was something we found quite interesting that we discovered.
But the difficult thing is we have collecting many volume of the live comments, like we data text calling from the TripAdvisor sort of things for generalizing our result. But in this case, live comment, I don't know how many the video numbers can be able to distract the data from that, the video. So
I think when we use API, it's okay. We basically get most of the not over 100%, but 95% of the live comments. But as we talk about, the data can be very huge already.
So my point of view about the research, if we collecting data out of that video, we'd better make like a scenario rather than each keyword or each attribute of that video, number of comment or sort of things. But I think we categorize like a emotional type, cognition type, or scenario type to what kind of the storyline make an impact for the viewers. That could be more impactful rather than just analyzing keywords base or the attribute base. What do you think?
I think that's a great point. I think a lot of time we didn't take that consideration, but your narrative is really matters more. Like when we look at the films, they always have narrative. Yes. The peak moments, right? There were slow moments. They all do that. I think that's a very important narrative, but we don't know. Like if we, from my personal experience, we haven't got a solution yet in terms of how to measure narratives, right?
Look at this, Dr. Cheng. Look at this the slide. There's consecutive shot. There's only people up a slide. The down slide there is a animal. So comparing these two scenes, scene one and video one, I think personally, the with cow is much more influence to me, because we think, oh, cow is a part of the environment, and because of that environment problem may cause cow something, reduction, whatever. So if we show these two types of video to the viewers, probably I feel more touched because of that cow.
Yes, the eating rabbit. Yes. I agree. It's like how to put it? Like some of the video is the turtles have the plastic bags. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think that's why we haven't taken that into the narratives. Yes, I think that we haven't taken that into considerations because simply picking up a rubbish may not have the emotional, may not emotional appealing
Uh-huh.
to the viewers. I think that's a great a great point. We haven't taken that into consideration. Yeah, I think that's is there any question from other students? I don't have any other slides. That's
Okay.
for yeah.
Students, you can ask the questions, whatever you want. This is a very important important research. Uh, the 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 analyzing the videos. Uh, in terms of TikToks and short video forms and sort of things, is the content is getting shorter and shorter, and people look at the video is very short form, and then they will make a decision for the feeling whatever. So I think is short video form is a critical for the
Mm.
any content, any business, any industry.
Yeah.
So, like
So
effectiveness, visual variation, and viewer engagement. This this sort of things good. But
yeah. So if you have any, you just feel free to ask. Oh, I think someone put something on the chat. I think someone said to extract various metadata from video for research purposes. What kind of tool did you use? Oh, so this is so we use a different kind of tools, right? So first extract data we using Microsoft Azure. So it's visual computer vision software that we have been using. Google Cloud Vision can be used as well, but Google Cloud Vision is more for images, and then we use more called Microsoft Azure. I think that was help you can analyze a lot of videos. But one thing that I want to mention is that it's great. It's not cheap to analyze the videos if you rely on all of them. But the challenge is that they can give you feature extractions. But the problem is that you need to decide which one you want and which one can align to your purpose. I think this is very important. Because if you can see from the video, I'll just show you. If you show you, like for example here, right? Even here, you get lots of data, like how many people, what are people in and what minute, what topic talks about, right? So you already got a lot of information already in. So you will need to decide, like when you extract the features, what kind of things you need. I think it's very important, like to have the idea what exactly you want to see, because otherwise you don't know what data can speak to you. And also one thing we talk about is that they can provide you feature instructions, but how, let me show the slide here, but how you can make sure that what you're going to use can measure the variables you're going to test, right? Because if you cannot find the right proxies from your videos, it's very hard for you to measure that, right? So I think you said something very important um, for you to take into considerations when you actually when analyze the videos. I think this is definitely a very exciting area. So we just start doing that, and we have a lot we don't know, but that's a very first stage.
okay, other students.
Anyone have any other questions? Just feel free to ask any question you have. So I just let you know. Let me just show you one slide about our. We have just our a small lab. So what we do is that we can track all the social medias every day, like about what's happening on TikTok, Twitter, and everything. So basically, we get a lot of social media data. It's a potential area, for collaborations. We get a lot of social media data from different channels. So that's how it looks like. So we do like social listening, social media analytics, all that things. I think that's something maybe, for collaborations as well. But if you have, because we go beyond the videos, we also look at images, but also look at emojis too.
Okay. Mingming,
Yeah.
what about I can be able to create a research model like a based scenario model, like a marketing experiment. We can take a test by marketing experiment using a survey based, but I mainly conducting the kind of research methodology. But if I can collaborate with you, you can download the videos and then collecting and extracting data from out of that videos, and like when you have done, but there's pretty much a different way of your approaching. My approaching is like a scenario based and something like a more context based rather than each keyword. So is it possible to collecting data?
Yes. I think that's what we call it. We call it always field data. It's a real field data. On social media, and your data is like more like experience. You test that, right? I think that's a good combination. So you use a field data and then you experience to test it. I think that's a good combination. We will be able to do, but depends on the platform, because some platforms are a bit difficult. And also depends on the amount of data, right? Because we say video data can take quite a bit of time to process as well.
For example, like this, currently is Korean food is become so popular. We have a street food, traditional food, and in YouTube, a lot of the world viewers and highly got the fascinating from Korean food. And then if you take a look at the YouTube video, there is an influencer and Korean street food and type of food and color and the text and the interaction sort of things. So can you take data out of that YouTube contents about the food?
Yeah, I think in terms of downloading, it's definitely, I think it's okay. But in terms of the analyzing, we will see how big the video file is, right? Like if a short video, it should not be a problem. But long videos, then we need to decide how to divide the videos, right? As well.
For example, like within 10 minutes. So I currently conducting the street food and traditional food comparison using a marketing experiment, and which one is more engaged in physical visiting to Korea through the food authentication. Because it's, in the YouTube, a lot of the young generation highly interested in street food. But before the street food, actually traditional food like bulgogi and the kalbi and sort of the Korean traditional food, we promote that kind of a food for the world people. But in the popular, the young generation, they don't care the kind of a traditional food. They're more like to street food, like so, and then they're watching the YouTube video. But I want to based on your research, if we extract the data, the attributes out of that concept, probably there's a color and comment and the context. And
yes, I agree. Yes.
So can you do that?
But in principle, I haven't done YouTube video, right? But in principle, I think it's okay. In principle, should be, but the principles are the same, right?
Okay.
I think we can download the comments and how people respond. I think that should be okay. I think in principle should be okay.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, because the concept are the same, right? How you analyze it and how you think. Because your
Yes, yes.
scenario is more about your scenario is different, right? Scenario is more about traditional food and street food, and
Uh-huh.
you want to see how people respond in the comments or how different things are shown in the influencers of videos, right? Is it more
Yes,
street food or more traditional
that's
food?
right.
Yeah, that yeah
But the why I think that is a critical one. Actually, food is smelling, and food is tasting. Food is a
yeah
memory. Food is not directly touching the food through the online contents, but we
yeah
can get the information. We can get the feeling. We can get
mm,
something memory recalling
yeah
from that experience. So as long as Korean street food or Korean food becomes so popular, the world viewers is hit the numbers is a huge numbers. But
mhm.
it's very difficult to take that attribute out of that context. So actually, food is not just the direct touching your sensory, but
Yeah
food is kind of information and combination with your experience and your memory recalling.
yes. Yeah, I agree. I think and also the other thing, in the video for those influencers, you want to say how they present the food, right?
Yes,
In what
yes,
way they present the food. I think
yes,
that also matters. And they may
yes.
present very creatively because we can do the street food in creative in different ways.
Uh-huh.
I think that
Right,
it make it different to traditional food, right? So
right.
we can do see that as well. Yeah.
And also is the influencer, like the YouTuber, influencer, like when Chinese people introduce Chinese food, and when the Western people introduce Korean food or Chinese food, then would be also different.
Yeah, I think it can be different because you can look at if you look at the people who leave a comments on the YouTube, you can see whether they'll leave their personal information bit there. You can see where they're from, likely,
Hmm.
and what language the posts are. Then you can
Hmm.
have a kind of guess where they're from, Korea or they're from local or they're from the Western world. Yeah, you
Hmm.
can have a kind of like basic demographic there.
Yes, that's exactly the same condition when you are in United States or when you are in Australia. Chinese
Mm.
food is has become so popular, and we enjoy the Chinese food in the West Australia. But actually, people
Yeah,
say that is not traditional Chinese style. It's
yeah,
manipulating the
yeah.
Western people. So original Chinese people don't like that, manipulation Chinese food.
Mm.
They like original Chinese food made by actual Chinese people. There is a same
Yes,
kind of
yes,
style in the YouTube. But these days,
yeah.
the Korean influencer is introduced Korean food. But these days, interestingly, Western people introduce Korean food.
They might. Yeah, you're interested to see the video how they present it, right?
Yes,
In
yes.
their ways,
Uh-huh.
because if the Western present way, they think it will be attractive to Westerners, right? They will
Yes,
present differently
yes,
to
that's
the
what I'm
Koreans.
talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah. I think that's quite exciting and how that's going to work.
Uh-huh. So can you
Yeah,
can you
because
extract the data like that kind of a context using of
I think
the
in
YouTube?
principle, yeah, I think in principle it should be okay. But we
Okay.
need to have a chat or looking at the actual video and then see how can do it. Because in principle, I think it should be in principle should be okay. With the same logic behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Is there any other question? Oh, I saw another question called to extract specific object label. Did you do some kind of fine tuning? Yeah, so if you look at Azura, it would give you a lot of labels already, but you can put more labels into it if you want as well. Because one thing we want to say that Azure is like a tool, right? It's just like SPSS is a tool to give you some basic information, but you need to be the one who decides which information you would like to get out of it. I think that really matters because if we talked about earlier is that there's so much information that's inside the video,
Mm,
right? You need to decide what you want, and also not every single tool
mm,
can help you with the research purpose.
mm.
That's why I said that it may require some of the programming skills. then you need to decide on where you want to exactly get.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's probably for my advice. Yeah.
Okay. We have a lot of tools for the analytics, but here's another question. Student,
Yeah.
we have a lot of the student here, but they hesitate to ask the question to you. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
that's the type of Korean student. What that's the type of students. I don't care. I have a questions for you, for my
Yeah.
purpose. I
Yeah.
don't want to assign the people who don't want to ask questions. That's their problem. It's not my problem. But my problem. The Mingming.
Yeah.
As you know, the AI.
Mm,
The Chat GPT and Google Bard. Anyway,
yeah.
yesterday
Yeah.
Google introduced Bard, another version
Mm,
for Chinese, for Korean, for Japanese, for English.
yeah.
Anyway, what do you think about the ChatGPT and Google Bard? Anyway, the human-like conversation,
Yeah.
and the comparing to this kind of social media analytics.
Actually, I listened to you. I listened to you talking before, with the other professors. I listened to that. So I listened to that before. Yeah, and just tell me some of my thought on that, right? Now, one thing that really matters in social media is creating content. Is
Uh-huh.
creating engaging content.
Uh-huh.
Now, traditionally, you have a person behind who write the content, right? But
Uh-huh.
now with the ChatGPT, it makes their job much easier. Like
Uh-huh.
in my class, for social media class, I allow them to use the ChatGPT to do those things,
Uh-huh.
right? Because ChatGPT just provide a platform because it automated like the social media posts, right?
Uh-huh.
So, for example, I put a news article into it, it will write a short social media post for me. So it will save them time. I think that's the industry to start using that as well.
Uh-huh.
Now, I know, like people talk about response use, but I think ChatGPT is a way that we have to adopt to it. I think we just can't skip of it
Uh-huh.
because it's happening, and we we wanna stop it. And I think the other thing with ChatGPT is that, particularly I think it makes things easier for everyone,
Uh-huh.
particularly for example, writing social media posts. I even for example, I saw a lot of people now that would put ChatGPT. I'm going to Korea for 10 days. Can you recommend the food and everything for me? So they were actually based on that advice for their traveling. So that can be quite exciting and change of how we do tourism businesses in the
Uh-huh.
future.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think it's coming. Even though I know a lot of people talk about in academic writing, right? They do fake citation and all that things, but I thought that well, in the future, um, that they can fix it. I think this not an issue, right? And then
Uh-huh.
once ChatGPT become more powerful, it's going to become reality for everyone.
Uh-huh.
That's my thought of it. I think it's
Mhm.
going to change our businesses.
Mhm. But
Yeah.
like social media content, like user generating and uploading, and then their own video and own photos with the context, with the with the
Mm,
story, with the keyword, with the uh,
mm,
hashtag,
yeah.
is a lot deeper and wider and depth in context we can derive from that the social media context. But however, ChatGPT is still far away to go. They can conversation human like, and they can
Yeah.
the Q&A is very comfortably and very exciting.
Mm,
But actually, the informativeness and that is not exactly correct.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. But the thing I know that social media content requires some type of creativity, right?
Uh-huh,
Or authenticity.
uh-huh,
But ChatGPT just provide. I mean, we see now with its limited capability, it just provide an initial
uh-huh.
like content for you, and then you can build on that.
Mhm,
I think that's what a lot of my students are using. That's
mhm,
for to generate initial ideas rather than
mhm,
use it directly.
mhm,
But it's something what I think is that it's just we can't really control, right? So it's going to be better and better, better. It's like artificial intelligence. It's going to be better, better, and in the harder way we do it. But also one thing I love, in your talk, with you, with another few experts, we talk like the ethic, responsible use of this, right? I think it's now we talk about responsible use of artificial intelligence. It's the same thing. I think will apply concept. Probably when they develop a guideline, I mean, let's see how ChatGPT can be used in tourism and hospitality. Yeah.
So I think it's like a personal, user-generated contents by the users and the travelers, and there is more context-based and more, in-depth the idea and the scenario. So if we can combine the social media contents with ChatGPT or Google Bard, the conversation, human like, that would be really impactful to the, tourism industries.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with your point. I think that's probably how the future will look like, at least for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Professor Gu, I have a question.
Sure.
Yes. Hi. Thank you for the lecture. I'm not sure I missed the first part, but my question is how did you sort out the videos related to your purpose? Because I think there are so many influence and advertisement on the internet, especially that kind of nowadays there are too many short how to say the videos. Then they have a certain purpose. So how did you sort out from the real I'm not sure even this question is important or not, because they are all in together. They can be experimented, but I think that's important because they have a certain purpose.
Yeah. So, thank you very much for your question. I think it's a really, really good questions. So it's very important because the first step you need to decide what video you want to get at, right? So what we usually do, we will look at a particular platform like YouTube, TikTok, and then we use the keyword to search. So the keyword will be like particular tourism attractions or food, right? Korean food, for example. We will limit, then the number of videos will appear. And then we will make choices. We say we will only pick up the top 100 with the most views, because then those videos are more attractive, right? And more people will be engaged with. So we'll make a choice. You put a few criteria saying what a video you want to choose. Otherwise that's impossible. And also sometimes we will tell ourselves we only want user generated. We only want tourists generated. We don't want anyone from local generated, right? And then we do a filter as well. So when we get the data, usually TikTok or YouTube, you put a keyword into it, it will list you all the YouTube's videos, and then based on you can put the criteria the most viewed, and then you can see the say our top of 100, or you get it all. So you can make cautious choices of what you want. But the thing is that you have few criteria that you need to base on. Because without the criteria, you won't. So for my case, I say I want to pick up the one that had the most engaging, most views, right? Had most number of views. So the top 100, then I make a choice. I say below that means that they're not popular, right? So you need to make a choice how you're going to select it, and then the reason behind. Because later on, if you present in conference or you're going to do a general articles, they want to know how you select the videos, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Thanks for the questions.
What's going to be next?
I have also one question. And first of all, thank you for your lecture. And my question is like, in your lecture, I think you didn't mention about the contents of the videos, because there are a lot of contents of like storyline, like the comedy or like horror or like romantic. So do we have to categorize the kind of content manually if we want to know like which content is much more attracting to the tourists?
Yes. So we do a simple way, right? We just say the content change, but we didn't actually measure the actual content. So what did the exact set? I think that's an important part. That's definitely we need to take consideration, because what you said make a difference. Because when you have a very peak time in the film, right? You're gonna have something first, right, before they can reach the peak, right? So that's a narrative of how it changed. I think we haven't really do the content analysis for this research, but it's something that we need to take into consideration. Also, we talked about earlier, not only about the exact content they say, but also the emotional behind, right? It's not like someone be happy and they feel so sad, right? You can create those gap and people feel differently, right? So we didn't take that into consideration, but that's very important, because when we talk about the content, not only exactly what they said, but also with the emotion, with the sentiments they said, and also, the way they talk about it. They talk very slowly, talk very emotionally. The audios can make a huge difference. So if you're talking to your friends or colleagues, if you're excited, you talk a different way, but if you're sad, you talk different ways, right? Even the same content. So I think that three parts really matters, like the exact content, what they talk about, the emotions, and the audios. And I think that really matters. It's something we haven't taken into consideration, but definitely something for the future. Yeah, but thank you very much for the question.
Yeah. That's important, the issue. Actually, short form content actually speed up, and the speed up the contents, speed up the original content, right? And in that case, viewers probably feel comfortable or feel losing or feel something okay, is too rushy, too slow, too late, and sort of things. So even if the content is exactly the same, but depends on the speed, it depends on the voice, it depends on the things. In the short forms, that would be different influence to the viewers, right?
Yes, it's like fear of losing, the content with the TikTok. Oh, it's good, I have to listen, right? So I think that's a really good point. Is and how they speak and the way they speak really matters, particularly short videos. Because in TikTok videos, in short videos, they just want to catch people's attention very easily. Otherwise, they're gonna lose them, right? So I think that's a great. I think that's a great point.
That's the attention time. In a TikTok and the short form contents, we should take care of it seriously. The attention time is about 10 seconds attention time or 15 seconds attention time. In that case, we should reduce the time of broadcasting with the speedway, right?
Yeah, but also sometimes you can see different. They even 10 seconds, 15 seconds. They do in different ways. Sometimes that we call they use different language and linguistic style. Will say create the urgency. You have to do it, but sometimes they will create, for example, authority. Tell them go come to an expert. You need to do top of three things, right? So they will construct in different ways from linguistic style. Yeah, I think that also matters. Yeah. Thanks for that. That's a
good research question. Actually, in this era, everybody watching the TikTok, everybody watching the short YouTube shorts, and so the producers, they uploading with the short form with the speed contents. In that case, researchers, we have to investigate which one is really influence to the viewers, or which one is preferable contents.
Yeah. Okay. Because that contents, because it's tourism, and tourism must be different from cosmetics, right? From makeups. Yes. So so it's different. The way people talk about things can attract people's attention. I think that matters, the content. Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned the cosmetics. So Korea is one of the very popular cosmetic production, manufacturing countries. So
yes,
that's another, the influencing, contents for the world people who have interest in Korea, and they come visit Korea because of that cosmetic industry and the surgery industry, whatever.
Yeah, but also I think those are, because before a lot of people will search Google, right, for the information to buy cosmetics in Korea or to surgery, right? But a lot of time they don't. Now they don't do that often. They don't look at TikTok. A lot of people did it before, and they don't follow there. Yes, I think it's now Google is not the only search engine. Social media, TikTok become another search engine for people to real experience.
Yes.
Yeah, I think people's search behavior are different now. Yeah, I think that's a really interesting part.
Yes, right. So Korean food, Korean cosmetic industry, cosmetic, behavior in TikTok, in the YouTube shorts. There's a lot of bunch of the a lot to do in research context. Actually, using of that video, data extractions.
Yeah, and also the other thing is that I don't know if someone had done research before, is that how particular things are perceived on the videos rather than on the other channels. I think can be different, right? Yeah, how people perceive, because I think videos are more attractive. We can put more information into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But however, so far the perception-based, survey-based research has tons of conduct. But like when you have done the actual data extraction is very rare case. If we can be able to extract the data out of the video format, actually extraction data, there's a huge influence beyond the perception base.
Yeah, we can also confirm whether some of the perceptions are correct based on the surveys, or some of that may not align with the reality yet. Yeah. I also get a question. So based on your personal expectation, what do you think the next generation of social media channels will be? I don't know at this stage. because it's hard to predict. But one thing I know is that one thing about TikTok is so famous, not only because it's a videos, it can make users to make a video so easily. Right? In TikTok, do you see the artificial intelligence? You can make yourself as a crown on the top. You can make yourself as an expert in particular area. So it makes things easier for everyone to produce videos. Before producing a video is difficult, but now with TikTok, it'll give you music, it'll give you this, give you that, and then it's easy. Just a few seconds, you can produce a video. Yeah. So I think that matters. That's why it has a high participation. But the other things I want to mention about TikTok, right? TikTok does not allow you to choose which video you're going to watch, right? You come up, you say don't like it, swipe it, and then you recommend another one. So it's a lot of algorithm behind. It will give you the one I think you love the most. So I think that was making it very popular. It's the algorithm behind. Yeah, so I can't give an answer what it will be, but I thought that was the thing that TikTok is doing really, really well. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Any other students? Okay, we have another question from text here.
Yeah. Do you think it can be changed from video focus to text focus? I'm not exactly sure, right? Because what I think about ChatGPT, I think maybe next few years it can help you produce a video. That's what I think. But now, text, because now ChatGPT only produces text, right? But I think in the next few years, ChatGPT will see the advanced functions. It may be able to give you to help you produce video as well. So this, I think, I want to make it that predictions that we will have change from video focus to text focus. Yeah, because at this stage, ChatGPT will not be able to do videos, but I think in the future, it's very likely they can do it as well. Yeah, I think that's my view. Yeah.
Let me say that my opinion about that question. Actually, video is absolutely powerful contents, and text is absolutely, to understand the context is an essential. ChatGPT is a human-like conversation and dialogue. You can give a question and answer with a robot, with AI. It's just like a human-like when we have conversation with friends. That's a more impactful. But I think it's going to be combined. So you will ask to the AI what you want, and then AI crawled with the text-based format with the video. So the video will be provided to you with your questions sooner or later. With the image, with the video, any types of contents with connecting to the text-based, because text is the understanding. And I think ChatGPT and any AI human-like conversation will bring the context to you, your questions. So that's gonna be future. But time is matter, and the volume is matter, and then how make the correct, the informations combined with the videos. In that case, video should be tagging with the keyword or hashtag together with the context. Then AI will be target correctly what kind of answers and what kind of solution to bring to you.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Thank you, Prof. It's very, very insightful at this point. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
Professor, can I ask one more question? Like short form videos, like they are limitations in the time, like 50 seconds to 60 seconds. So if we want to choose like the recorded videos from a YouTube or like that, so what do you think, like which length of the videos is suitable when we select the videos, like the 10 minutes or like less than 10 minutes or like more than 10 minutes? So which one is better?
Oh, I want to say which one is better, but in terms of how you analyze it, how you download it, and how you store it, I think short videos may better. Like 50 seconds is a good video, good amount, right? Is easier. But longer video means you have more data to deal with. When I say deal with, you need some more time to download it, more time to extract the features, more time to analyze it. Now, for a research purpose, I mean, it might be easier if you short videos rather than long videos. Otherwise, it'll be a lot of information for you to analyze this. Yeah, that's from my my current research. That's my advice. Yeah.
Thank you. And also, how do you think of the short form videos? Does they bring like the impact on the tourism or like destination promotion?
Yeah, so I think this is very powerful. Now, if you look at 10 years ago, we have travel blogs, right? People write travel blogs of destination. But now seldom people write travel blogs. It's more about short videos. They produce a series of videos of destinations, right? And also, if you go to, let's say, if you go on a subway or train, it's easier for you to digest short form videos, right? And it's more digestible. And also, if you look at we in human society, information are fragmented, right? So people get the destination information a bit here, a bit there, a bit here, right? So I think video is good for them to get the information quickly. And also, short videos give people a hook, right? So basically, the 50 seconds, they say, oh, I love that one. I keep going, right? With other videos. So I think that's what a video makes videos powerful. It can give a hook. Yeah, that's my thought on that. Thank you for the question.
Any other questions? Okay. So, Ming,
yeah,
where did you get the PhD?
Oh, in Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
Which school?
University of Technology Sydney.
University of
Technology Sydney.
where is it?
In Sydney. In Sydney.
Sydney. Oh,
Yeah.
University of Technology
Yes.
in Sydney.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you're originally
Yeah.
from China.
Yeah, originally from China. Yes.
What part of China?
From southern part, like Jiangxi province.
Jiangxi province. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a few hours away from Shanghai. Yeah, like 4 hours away. Yeah.
Okay. So you got the PhD in Sydney and become professor in the Cotton University.
Yes.
So you actively research on the video, and you're publishing very decent journals and top tier journals. So what do you think about how? Could you sharing the research experience when you are publishing, or when you try to find out the something important issue or conceptual model, whatever, so far?
Oh, I think I work quite differently, probably from a lot of scholars, because a lot of my research is focusing on some new topics like change of social media, like we do emojis and video analytics, and also before I do a lot of peer-to-peer accommodation. Now, the thing is that I like a lot is really about the method, not only the topic itself, but also the methodological aspect. So I love those like new analytical methods. Before I do a lot of text mining, but now I did a lot of image, and now I do a lot of started doing videos. So that's making me really excited. I don't want to just focus on one theory, right? Some people just focus on emotions. So I don't follow that, but I follow the topic and methods. I think probably Professor Yu have more say on this, but I realized that now during hospital research, they're more advanced now in terms of methodology aspect. We have new methods, and then even tourism management, they require you cannot do a survey only, you have to do experiment, you have to do this add it together, right? So I think this is kind of how to put it. There's more requirements, for tourism hospitality to get a publishing in good journals. I think if you just only doing a survey, probably not enough now. But also the other thing, I love listen to talks. So I listen to Professor Kuhn talk on ChatGPT with Catherine Kuhn, all this. So I thought it was quite interesting. I love to hear other people's thoughts on things, and then there you can find some ideas. I think conference talking is really matters. Yeah, particular people from different areas. Like one professor, Kuhn, you talking about the food. I said, oh, that's a very interesting part. I never thought that can be interesting point to look at, right? I think that's where you get the ideas. Yeah, I think that's yeah, I think the other thing I think to do research that I like is that you want yourself to be part of it, because you travel, you know things, right? And you understand how things have happened. I think the experience with it, because I play social media a lot, so that's why I know, oh, this is happening. So I think that matters, because if I don't play social media by myself, I will not be able to have the first-hand experience. Yeah, I think that's a part of yeah.
I inviting this many scholars from all over the world, and they are all actively researching on certain topics. And so far, through that, exchanging this scholars' experience, I think is as times goes by, more actual reality based, like text, video, but however, every single the highly researchers they always addressing the context, not just only the technical issue, that not just only the software issue. So I think we should focus on the context plus and research methodology together with the technology. And
yes, I agree.
and the skillful is a skillful, but I need you like a I currently actively research on that the food with my students with the marketing experiment. But after we finishing marketing experiment, absolutely I need you like a actual data analytics out of that the short video form. So I will provide the research context with the conceptual model, and then you work with me that the analytics.
Yeah, definitely something we can look into.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the beauty of
Sure.
collaborating and sharing. Yeah.
We are all professional. We are all player of a professional game, so it's not a joke.
Yeah, that's true.
It's correct. You know, Korea is a world-renowned the trading country. We make a good semiconductor chip. We make a good the car. We make a good electronic devices.
Yeah.
As well as we make a good the journal papers.
Of course. because I think last year, right, you got the best paper best paper award, right?
Yeah, I received. Yeah.
I saw that on social media. Yeah.
Okay, because of that is my performance, and that's the measurement for the professional field. It's important.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's not easy to get. So many people apply that award, right? I think it's a lot of people. Yeah.
Yes. So these days, so many Chinese university and Chinese researchers are really, really doing well the publication work, and it's so surprising. I think mainland Chinese policy, education policy, will are rapidly changing from domestic to the international.
Yeah, I think it's a lot. I think probably a lot of pressure for them, right? I think it's a new policy that you need to publish in journals for your performance, and that's why a lot of them need to publish. But also, I think a lot of them actually graduate from overseas and they come back to China. That's why I think that makes a difference. Yeah.
So,
but also,
yeah.
But also, I think now because we have opportunity to work with people anywhere, so that's make a difference. Yeah.
So, these days is when I inviting some Chinese the colleagues and scholars from all over the world, it's so surprising. They publishing very good journal papers in the top tier journals, and they are all 30 or 40 young scholars. Oh, it's just afraid and scary.
I think because under too much pressure.
Pressure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So pressure is important. Okay.
I think a lot of pressure makes people. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Any field, any professional, work as we feel pressure. So without pressure, no, how can I say?
No productivity,
no quality.
Yeah. That's
so
true.
I keep pressuring my students all the time. There's no such the luxurious life.
Yeah, they're good for the future as well, right? And I think, and if someone can consider doing a PhD, now you have so many scholars from this platform, and you can have so many choices, right? Yeah.
So actually, I have two different groups. One is receiving pressure from me. Another group is very freestyle graduate life.
I think pressure. I feel it's good. It will be good because you have pressure, then you'll be more productive, right? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, once you graduate, you still have pressure anyway.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So it's a pressure. Who cares your life? You and you. The one cares you.
Yeah, I think if people give pressure, I mean, they also care about you, right? If
Yes.
they don't care about you, why they give you pressure?
Yes, that's right. Exactly.
Yeah. If they don't care about you, why they give pressure? Like they let you do whatever you want, right? It's only you be what you want to achieve something. That's why give pressure.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct. So
Yeah.
here's a lot of students. The most of our students are not my students, so I couldn't say there's something serious one anymore. But anyway, as a professor, as an instructor of a certain class, and I always addressing there's something tips and cues for their life, like this.
Yeah.
Pressure is important and critical, and
yes,
if,
I agree.
if you don't feel pressure, there's no such a productivity and quality. And also,
yeah, that's great.
Once again, I said as a students, they care about the GPA, grading points, the score A, score B, score C, right? But that's not so important. That's important,
Yeah,
but that's not so important.
yeah, but if you can have a publication, I think it will change your life, like you do good research.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the score A plus, A B plus, C plus is not changing your life. It's not changing your life at all. A plus is not changing your life. A0 to A minus, B plus, it doesn't matter. Really.
Yeah.
Matter is a publication.
Yeah, but no one will ask you what's your grade anymore after you graduate.
Okay, when you job interview with any A school or B school, C school, never ask your score, or never ask your A plus, B plus, C plus. Never ask.
Yeah.
Even never ask you where do you graduate from the undergraduate. Even never ask your master degrees, university.
Yeah.
They just a little bit care about your PhD degree, where do you get, and then they mostly
care about publications,
publication score, and publication list. If you publish the TM, if you publish the ATR, if you publish the JTR, if you publish the IJHM or distance journal, the school invite you to presentation or invite you to very warm welcoming. But if you don't publish such a that kind of journal level, you're never welcomed. Any school.
That's true.
Any school.
That's true.
You should understand that. So if you care about the A plus, B plus, that transcript you can showing to your grandparents. They will like it. They will like it. Yeah. Or your son, or elementary son, or elementary daughter will like it. Oh, my mother, my father, my receiving A plus.
That's true. Yes.
Mingming, thank you very much for your presentation. I look forward to working with you in the near future, and also I look forward to see your face in the conference.
Again in the Enter.
Okay,
I think we'll come to Enter this year. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much again.
Thank you very much. I will send the invitation again. Collaboration with you.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you for everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.